everyone, welcome back to my small business channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today, as I really do need your company now more than ever. And you may have noticed that there's been no studio vlog from me for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, me and my fiance Nathan had some really sad news. We've been going through a miscarriage. We were so excited to be pregnant. We were 8 weeks pregnant, so only family and friends knew. But we now have an angel baby, and it's been a really traumatic time. But I'm grateful to have art, and I'm grateful to have my business as a distraction. So your orders really do mean everything to me right now. So these next few clips I did film before it happened, and they were going to be part of a studio vlog, which obviously didn't happen. But I'm really proud of the pieces I made, and I thought I could still show you them in this video until the studio vlogs resume. So the first piece we're working on is this oat milk carton vase. So my classic square vases are back in stock, and I had this idea to make a lid out of clay and make it look like a milk carton. I decided to go in with just this classic blue colour. This is actually one of my favourite paints to use. It's the Pebo or Pebo, I don't really know how you pronounce the brand, but you can get it at most craft stores. Yes, I went in and I just free-handed the text saying oat milk. I did capital letters for the oat and then milk in a bit more of a fancy writing, and then I decided for the rest of the vase to just do the same blue. I kept it all blue, I didn't use any other colour, and I went in and done a nice cow print to fill the vase out. I also did little oat, what they're called, wheat strands, but wheat, oh my god, I don't even know what it's called. What are they called? Wheat, barley, I don't know, honestly. You guys know what I mean though. So yeah, I did a couple of them. I just used the classic brush technique when you want it to be bigger at the base and then go slightly more pointed. I'm not the best at this technique. It's not something that I've practiced very often, but it's not too bad when you know what you're doing, and as long as you get the angle right, it kind of gives the effect that you want it to give. So yeah, I did that, and then I did all the cow print, and then we moved on to the lid after that. So moving on to the lid, I did want to keep it a really seamless piece, so I used the same blue colour. I just wrote open me with a little arrow around the fake lid, and then I just did the cow print exactly the same to match the vase, because obviously for this vase, I'll show you in a second, but you can either have the lid on or off depending on what flowers you're using, how many flowers you have. For example, if you're using dried or fake flowers, you might want to just leave the lid on and slot them in the back, because there is space for you to slot them in whilst leaving the lid on. But if you have fresh flowers or a lot of flowers, you will want to take the lid off and fill the vase. And then obviously when the vase isn't in use, if you are using fresh flowers, then it looks like an oat milk carton all the time, so I just feel like it's the perfect kitchen decor. I liked that the cow print was slightly opaque in some places. I did leave that there intentionally. Yeah, this is it finished. I'm putting some fake flowers in here to show you what it looks like if you want to leave the lid on. Obviously fresh flowers, you can take the lid off, but I'm really happy with this piece. I have added it to my shop now, so if you do want to grab this one-off piece, then go ahead, and I'm going to look into doing some more juice cartons as well. Moving on to the next piece, which is this kind of little autumn scene. So we have a vase with all these little pieces. We have a pumpkin, a mug, two set of books, a leaf and a toadstool. So I couldn't remember what I'd even done then. Yeah, so I started by just painting the vase with some brown stripes, and then I did end up going in and doing, I've been really loving the paint splat design, using a more watery acrylic. to give the splats of paint. I know a lot of people say you can use a toothbrush for this, but I've just been tapping a paintbrush and I've been really enjoying adding this to my pieces. I feel like it's slowly becoming like my thing right now that I'm enjoying doing. So I did some stripes on the vase and then did the splat and then moved on to painting each of the clay pieces. Started with the pumpkin. Sorry about the camera shake, and I have ordered another tripod that I'm fingers crossed hoping will make my videos slightly better and slightly easier to film, like different angles and stuff. So yeah, I am not doing really any like autumn or Halloween launch because I'm sure you've already seen, but I do have a ghost vase, some ghost key rings, and just a couple of autumny bits. This is another piece that I've now added to the shop, but I'm not doing like a launch or anything because I just panic, like if they don't sell, you've got them sat for a year, and I'm just like, I get in my head a lot about it, so I prefer to just take custom orders for autumn and Halloween pieces. But plus we have Christmas, sorry to say it, but we have Christmas coming up very soon. I'll be launching Christmas next month, and the date is to be announced, but yeah, I'll be launching Christmas next month, and I feel like I already have enough to kind of focus on with that without doing an autumn Halloween collection that might not sell kind of thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing these pieces because autumn's actually my favourite season. So it sounds kind of crazy that as a business I don't do themed pieces like this, but I do switch my colour schemes up slightly and do some more like autumnal. Like I have a really cool tiger vase coming that I can't wait to show you all. But yeah, carrying on painting, just doing the toadstool and everything. I'm so excited to show you it finished. I'm so nearly done. And I like that you can kind of display this however you want, as you're going to see now. So we have the vase, the pumpkin, the leaf, this cute little mug, which is probably my favourite, I think. Then the little books, we have one open and one closed, and then the toadstool. And this is the little autumn scene vase finished. You can put real or fake flowers in this because it's glazed on the inside. Okay, moving on to probably my favourite and final piece that I'm going to show you in this video today. So I've seen quite a lot on my Pinterest and on Etsy actually, these wall vases where it's literally like a piece of clay, like a slab of clay with a little pouch on it, and then obviously a hole so that it can go on a nail in the wall. And yeah, they're literally just called wall vases or pocket vases, I think I've seen as well, pocket wall vases. So I started by rolling out the clay. I don't actually use anything to make sure it's level. I kind of just eyeball it and go off the feel of the rolling pin as well. As you can see, like if I feel like it's not flat enough, I'll go in again with the rolling pin. But I just used my arch template and cut this out. I need to get a proper cutter tool because this isn't actually a cutter tool what I'm using, but it's just my go-to. Like it came in the set that I got on Amazon. I'm also going to film a clay tips and tricks video for you all. I know a couple of you have asked for tips on like clay and things, so I am going to film that video. I just need to plan it out and think when to do it, but it will be coming, don't worry. So then I moved on to rolling out the clay for the little pocket. Now this actually wasn't that hard. Like the concept of this wasn't too overwhelming. It was more so like time consuming to make sure the pouch blended with the slab kind of thing and made sure like it was going to hold up and like I'd done the right size and stuff. But honestly, I know I said it for the last one, but I really can't wait to show you this one finished. This is the only one that isn't in the shop yet because I'm actually going to work on a few and release them all together. So I just used a little bit of paper. You could use tin foil, you could use baking paper. I just used paper, and I kept, as you can see, going in because it was just slightly too much. I kept making it smaller and thinking like, how small does this piece of paper need to be? But I eventually got there in the end, and then just used my fingers to push it into position, and then I went in with a tool to push it all in. But I sort of regret using my finger at first, because you'll see I struggled to get the markings out of the clay. Like, it didn't matter how much, like, I didn't want to use too much water because that can sometimes cause cracking and it takes longer to dry. But no matter how much water I kept putting on, the fingerprints just weren't like fading. I don't know if it was the temperature in the room or what. Like, I don't really have this problem that often, but I did end up going in with my sponge that definitely lessened it. But again, I just wasn't happy until like these markings were gone, and I knew that with sanding a lot of them would come out. But yeah, I just kept going. Patience is key when it comes to clay. And yeah, then I didn't actually paint this one with you all. I just let it dry. I left the paper in to dry, and it came out really easily. They took maybe like a week or so to dry. Like, when I thought they were dry, I kept, like with my clay pieces, I turned them over these pieces and the back was still wet. But this is it finished. I decided on a pink and white checkered pattern, which I think is really effective. It kind of like, the pouch sort of blends in with the vase. So these are for fake or dried flowers only, artificial, anything like that. So this is me just putting it on a little nail that I already had in the wall, and then putting the flowers in, and I'm so happy with it, how it turned out. So make sure you stay tuned in the studio vlogs for when these will be released in the shop and we can make more of them together. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait to get back to the studio vlogs and spend time with you all, and thanks for your support always. Love you all millions. Bye.